How much will I make? That is the question you've been dying to know, right? And it is important to answer. After all, you need to have some basic figures in place to know if this is worth your time. Just because the STR market is hot, it doesn't mean it is worth the time and effort. But with some ballpark rates, you can make an educated guess on income. I remember way back in 2015 being agog over the thought of earning $1,500 a month on a short-term rental, especially when the low rental rates around me meant I would only gross $600 per month on our 2-bedroom house if I rented it out as a long-term rental, and still be on the hook for repairs and maintenance. And while rents have grown dramatically since then, I still live in one of the least expensive real estate markets in the United States. I truly had no inkling of what was possible, but after nearly 3 years of tracking, I can give you a far better idea. Keep in mind that my property is, once again, in one of the least expensive real estate markets in the country. I also operate on the low end. Keep in mind that my property is, once again, in one of the least expensive real estate markets in the country. I also operate on the low end. I prefer my properties booked as close to 100% of the time for a slightly lower rate, while over-delivering on value, better reviews, better future income earning potential. However, the steps that follow should give you a basic idea of how to calculate your own potential income. Start by going to Airbnb.com and type your city and state into the search bar. Narrow down as much as possible to the area that is closest to you. Make sure you are looking at comparable properties, same number of bedrooms, for example. Take your time, look at the pictures, note the amenities listed, and how the property looks compared to yours. Try to find at least 5 that are as close to your own in appearance, in size, and amenities. Then, take out a notebook and fill in the blanks. What are the daily, weekend, and cleaning rates in your area for comparable properties? Write them down. You might also want to compare booking sites. Are the rates the same for the same properties through VRBO? I keep my rates steady at the other sites and only adjust the Airbnb rates. Airbnb is the biggest platform in our area and also the one I do most of my business on, but VRBO and the other platforms are slowly and steadily growing in momentum. As the largest booking platform, it makes sense for me to adjust my rates on Airbnb if I find I have vacancies less than 1 week out on my properties. Here are the 2022 average nightly occupancy and cleaning rates for Cottage West as an example. Average weekday rate, $75.45 a night, compared to $69.71 in 2021. Average weekend rate, $95.09, compared to $83.35 in 2021. Cleaning fees, $50 for 2 days or less, $65 for 3+ days stays. Based on my tracking over the past 3 years, I know that Cottage West will have an average occupancy rate of at least 83.75%, earn an occupancy rate of at least $82.68 per night, earn an overall gross occupancy income of around $25,000 per year, earn cleaning fees of at least $10,500 per year that I get to keep since I do the cleanings. Until I pay my mortgage off, it will earn me a gross of $35,000 per year. After that, at least $42,000, likely more, as daily rates will have increased by then. Once your STR is up and running, the average occupancy rate is typically right around 80%. This varies widely depending on your area, tourism, and seasons. For our Cottage West STR, I know from tracking it, I can expect anywhere between 81% and 91% occupancy. In 2021, it was 91% booked for the year. In 2022, that amount fell to just under 84%, but my average occupancy income rose from $73.83 a night to $82.68 per night. Factors that may affect your booking rate and the amount you can charge nightly include economy, geopolitical events, and seasonal weather changes. This income, depending on where you are located, might appear small, but when compared to an average gross long-term rental income in my area of approximately $900 per month, it makes sense. In the end, I'm earning a gross $35,000 a year instead of $10,800 in traditional rental income. That's well worth 30 hours of work per month. I would like to point out that I've accumulated over 500 reviews and had Cottage West in operation for 3 years at the time of this writing. New properties cannot expect an 80% or higher occupancy rate right out of the gate. It takes time, and it takes reviews and word of mouth and experience before you can expect higher occupancy rates. I highly recommend using projections that include a 45% occupancy rate so that you have worst-case scenarios on hand. Assume and budget for worst case, and you can build it from there. You can download the spreadsheet I use to track the average daily income and enter and adjust it to fit your needs by going to my author website for your free download, www.christineschuck.com/STR-success-resources. Once you have a ballpark on the average nightly rate and cleaning rates, it's time to construct the other half of the equation, your expenses. Once again, do a little research. Reach out to friends, other hosts with same-size properties to anticipate more clearly the utility costs for your particular property. Here are the 2021 average monthly expenses for Cottage West. Mortgage, $505. Internet, $70. Electric, $125.50. Gas, $53.78. Water, $67.35. Cell phone, $121.10. Repairs and maintenance, $67.27. Cleaning costs, $28.33. Property taxes, $35.05. Licensing, $22.63. Security, which is a Ring membership, $8.33. Accounting, Quicken, $8.67. Supplies, $63. Streaming services, $33. Total average monthly expenses, $1,209.01. Now, I handle all the cleanings. The only time I outsource them is when my family and I take our annual vacation. So the $28.33 is actually $340 in costs, paid over 10 days' time. Average income, $2,818.47. Average expenses, $1,209.01. Average net income, $1,609.46. In an area where our 2-bedroom, 1-bath house would rent out for a max of $874 per month, choosing to STR makes sense. I'm doubling my potential income, even after expenses. And don't forget, it is a mere 150 feet away from my home in eyesight. Another thing to note, the costs for our internet, cell phones, security, accounting, and streaming services are unchanged when adding another STR to the mix, and we get access to all of those things for free. So when we added on the Hedy Lamarr Airstream in mid-2021 and plan to add on more, our costs didn't go up in those areas, with few exceptions, making our monthly average expenses lower overall. I can expect an average net income of around $3,645 per month. Cottage West and the Hedy Lamarr Airstream incomes have grown since last year and are now grossing an average of $4,448.91 per month. I immediately set aside 15%, average of $657.17 per month, of that amount into an interest-bearing savings account for unexpected repairs, downtime, and taxes. I also pay myself a salary of $3,000 per month and put any remaining funds left after expenses into a renovations fund for our next 2 STR projects. Having this income allows me to, 1, stay at home and write my books, and 2, be a mom to my kiddos. Later, once our renovation of Cottage East and a second RV are done and the properties are earning income, we can begin superpaying on our mortgage, eliminating all debt, and building our savings. In the bigger scheme of things, our combined 3-house property with yard and 2 RVs, for 4 STRs once complete, are small potatoes compared to others on the market. But actually, that is one reason I wrote this book. You don't have to be big. You can stay small and earn a decent income while managing one or a handful of STRs all on your own. Keep reading. We have a lot to cover.